Hey folks, welcome to Gunnison Crested Butte Regional Airport up at 7,800 feet up in the Rocky Mountains. A flight I've done several times before with the PMDG and with the A320NX. Today is the first time in the Fenix, and I'm not the biggest Fenix expert, I will admit that readily, but it's something I've learned to enjoy here of late. So let's hop in, quick little flight down the hill to Denver. Welcome aboard. Let's see here. Well, I'm not going to worry so much about the time. Only 4 minutes over. Let's load the aircraft according to the spec. And we'll actually load it instantaneously. Our time will be used during the passenger program, PACX. But for the actual sake of the weight and balance, we'll load it instantaneously. 114 passengers. We have some cargo. We have some extra fuel. But we're well into our normal flight envelope. So that will be fine. Ground services, having some issues with the jet bridge, but the chocks are out, the ground power unit is out, the left front cabin door is out. I can push the toggle jetway button a couple of times. It doesn't seem to do anything. Jet bridge is sitting there rather ominously. So the aircraft is loaded. Let's get down to our flight management computer and get all this juicy data loaded up. Oops. Let's get to the... Ooh, I guess we need some power on the aircraft. We have external power available, so we'll use it. Battery 1, battery 2, external power. Arm the emergency exit lights. We have our fuel, we have our weights, so passenger signs can go on, no smoking, seatbelt signs. Nav system, nav and logo lights to number 1. Crew oxygen supply will leave and off for right now. Let's do a cockpit voice recorder test. That's good. Ground proximity warning system has terrain and system faults right now. I'm not going to worry about that. Emergency evac is selected to captain and purser. We'll do an evac test. That's fine. We'll fire up the ADIRs on system number 1, system number 2, and system number 3. We'll do a test for the fire suppression system on the APU. And that test is fine. Hydraulics are not actuated. Fuel pumps are off. Electrical system is being fed by ground power, 25.7 and 27.5 on the batteries respectively. Air conditioning is set to automatic. Anti-ice, probe heat, and wing and engine anti-ice and probe heat, window heat are off and auto. Cabin pressurization is to auto. Our lights are configured. We will do a test for smoke in the cargo area. That is fine. Cargo heat is fine. Turn on the speakers for the ILS and the marker beacon. Great. ATSU menu. Company menu. Flight initialization over the data link. We are Frontier flight number 43, flying from Gunnison to Denver. Our alternate is Colorado Springs. 29 minutes flight time. It is August 14th, 2022 in jolly old England. It's 12:38 in the afternoon. We'll go back to the company menu and we'll do a weather request. How about current weather in Gunnison? We'll send that. Weather request. We'll do a TAF, Terminal Aerodrome Forecast, forecasted weather for Colorado Springs. We'll send that. And finally, we'll get a TAF for Denver. Send that. Okay, return. That's the only thing we need from the company. So, to the flight management system, we are in an Airbus A320 200 aircraft with CFM 56 engines. Our AIRAC cycle is current. Initialization request. No company route. Alternate is Colorado Springs, Gunnison to Denver. Flight number, we are in Frontier, flight number 43. Cost index is 56. Cruise altitude today. How about 250? Winds are 200 at 9. -19 degrees negative, 200 at 9. At 250. And that's enough wind. Tropopause is at 51,882. That's well above our flying altitude, so nothing to worry about with the jet stream or a fast-moving ribbon of air. Zero fuel, weight zero, fuel center of gravity. We are, you know, I'm not real sure about our runway yet. It's live weather. Wind 310 at 3. So runway 6. Let's see. Runway 24 would probably be more appropriate. Well, we'll take 24. Dry surface. Flap configuration of 2. Force toga, yes, we need toga. Anti-ice will be off. PACX will be on. And let's calculate. We got some good V speeds out of that. No flex temp. 2 on the flaps, up 0.2 on the stabilator trim setting. Zero fuel weight is 59.6. Center of gravity is 29.6. 59.6 / 29.6. Block fuel. Should be 7494. Let's just say 8,000 kiloliters for simplicity's sake. And let's make sure that's what was loaded into the aircraft. Tanks 7494. Well, 7494 is what's in the tanks. So let's put that in the computer. Too bad, insurance factor. Okay. Still plenty of extra time available for our quick little 29-minute flight. Let's go to the performance page. We have our V speeds. Oh, I thought we had our V speeds. Didn't we calculate this? I thought we calculated this. I guess since I changed the fuel, I don't know if... Oh, this is for runway 6. You said runway 24. Actually, the performance numbers are exactly the same, so I guess it doesn't matter our runway. Oh, flap configuration at 2, anti-ice off, PACX on, force toga, yes. Now we'll calculate. 126. Let's go with the other runway and see if that changes things. 126 on the V1. It does not change things. So go back to runway 24. (126), 135, 136. 126, 135 and 136. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. Flex 2 temp is not applicable. Flap setting 2, stabilator setting is down 0.2. Now, unfortunately, I tried this the other day. Didn't have a lot of luck with it. I wasn't able to move the trim wheel. I don't know if I don't even have an option to move the trim wheel. See, the trim wheel can't be maneuvered by me. So I'm hoping that the autopilot will rectify that, and the autopilot will be able to trim the airplane accordingly. Anyway, we are doing pretty well. Let's do a checklist. Ready for a checklist? Cockpit preparation checklist.
Cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers. Removed. Full quantity. 7,494 kilograms. Set. Seat belts. On. Adios. Nav. Baro ref. 2991. Set. 299. Set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
His German accent is making me think when he says something, which is good. I need to think from time to time. Okay, cockpit prep is done. We have basic power on the aircraft. Time to bring aboard some passengers. We'll start to hear the pitter-patter of little feet in the background. Let's get the APU fired up. Actually, before we do that, let's get a clearance. Our routing, 1Z to K2, and then we're on the Ski 3 arrival. Actually, I'm just going to make that K2, and I have my reasons.
We're just reseating someone. We'll be ready shortly.
Weather is not currently available for Gunnison Crested Butte REGL Information Oscar, 1156 Zulu. Winds are light and variable. Visibility 10 miles. 1000 broken. Temperature 9, dew point 6. Current altimeter is 3042. Arriving and departing runway 24. Gunnison Crested Butte REGL Information Oscar, 1156 Zulu. Winds are light and variable. Visibility 10 miles. 1000 broken. Temperature 9, dew point 6. Current altimeter is 3042. Arriving and departing runway 24. Gunnison Crested Butte REGL Information Oscar, 1156 Zulu. Winds are light and variable. Visibility 10 miles. 1000 broken. Temperature 9, dew point 6. Current altimeter is 3042. Arriving and departing runway 24. Gunnison Crested Butte REGL Information Oscar, 1156 Zulu. Winds are light and variable. Visibility 10 miles. 1000 broken. Temperature 9, dew point 6.
Denver Center, Frontier 4-3, ready to copy.
Frontier 4-3, we don't have a flight plan on file for you.
Oh no! Denver Center, Frontier 4-3, ready to copy.
Frontier 4-3 is cleared to Kilo Delta Echo November as filed. Expect departure runway 24. Climb and maintain 2000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 6352.
Frontier 4-3 is cleared to Kilo Delta Echo November as filed. Climb and maintain 2000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 6352.
Frontier 4-3 read back correct. Contact us for IFR release when number 1 for departure.
Will contact you for IFR release. Frontier 4-3.
Okay, 6352 is our squawk code. Standby on the transponder, standby on the TCAS system, so that is fine. We've got our clearance. And we are at an uncontrolled airport, so we don't need permission to push or start. We would just announce our intentions in the blind on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency. So, now we can go upstairs and fire up the APU. Beacon on. Oxygen supply on. Let's do a fire test on engine number 1. Fire test on engine number 2. We've already done one on the APU. Get the fuel pumps turned on. And APU master start, master switch, start, and APU bleed. Runway 24 for the departure. And W-U-N-Z-E. W-U-N-Z-E. 1Z is our next waypoint. Okay, departure, waypoint, top of climb, and then we are into our arrival.
American 1359, contact center 132.62. 132.22, American 1359. Good morning.
And 326262.
My apologies, 13262, American 1359.
4 right, 34 left is our runway of intent. And we are on the Ski 1. Ski 3, rather. And our transition is leave that alone. That looks great. Engines are off and not providing power. Bleed air is available. Pressure, we are vented to the outside, so cabin pressure is the same as ambient outside pressure. Electrical system is being provided by the
ladies and gentlemen, I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat,
hydraulics
please
are
be
not
sure to place
actuated.
your larger carry-on
Fuel
items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the
evenly
seat in front of you.
distributed.
Unless you're in the front
Cross
row,
valves
please
are
place all
off.
of your items in the overhead bins.
APU is
If you have
running.
any trouble finding a location
Air
for your carry-on
conditioning
items,
is not
please let a
on.
flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you.
Cabin
The
door
overhead
is the
bin
only
is
door
full after
open.
you put your carry-on inside of it. Please
Wheels
close
are
the bin
full.
as a courtesy to other passengers. Once
Hydraulics
all your
are
items are
not
put away, please
actuated
clear
on
the
the
aisle and
system.
sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant
Whiskey
know.
Charlie 420, climbing
Now's the
450.
time to get out any
Number
last-minute
302
text
Charlie,
messages if you need to, but we ask that once you depart from the gate, you put away any laptops or tablets. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
24 for our runway heading on departure, and our V2 speed is 136. We can turn the constraints on, captain's side and first officer's side, and move our range out to about 40. Getting pretty good.
Hey, how's boarding going back there?
We're still boarding. Let us know if you need us.
Is there any chance we could expedite the boarding?
We'll see what we can do. No promises.
From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. Welcome on board our flight. We'll be departing soon and we're aiming for a smooth flight. Thanks for flying and we'll keep you informed of any changes as they happen.
We have some weather. This is our TAF for Denver. There's a date block, a time block from 1 to 200 at 10 knots. Visibility greater than 6 miles. Few clouds at 11,000. scattered at 2,000.
Was there a VFR calling?
Time
Sorry
block.
about that. That was a Citation 302 Whiskey Charlie with a request.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, can we stop it at 430 wrong for direction for about another 10 minutes?
4302 with Charlie, amend altitude, climb, maintain level 430.
We'll stop it at 4302 Whiskey Charlie, thanks.
Wind from the southwest at 10, changing to the northwest at 9. The visibility does not change. 22,000 seems like a pretty hard cloud layer. And then 300 at 9. So southwest, northwest, northwest, 9 to 10 knots is what can be expected in Denver. Very good. And how about Colorado Springs? Date block, time block, 350 at 15, gust to 25. It's windier in Colorado Springs, good visibility, same clouds. 130 at 10, basically 10 knots and 6 miles visibility. A little gusty conditions initially, Colorado Springs. And finally, Gunnison weather, 310 at 3, very light wind here. Good visibility, broken at 11,000. Temperature 9, dew point 6. Good temperature dew point spread, so we don't have to worry about ground fog or low clouds. High altimeter setting, extremely high altimeter setting. So we are looking good. What is going on here?
We are ready to go when you are.
Wonderful. Let's talk to the folks on the ground.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
Confirm all ground checks complete. We're cleared to pressurize the hydraulics.
Outside check is completed. All doors and panels are closed. No issues found. You can pressurize the hydraulics anytime now.
We have a German first officer and a German tug operator.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Understood.
That's quite a coincidence. Gunnison traffic, Frontier Flight 43 is taking a pushback at Gate 19, Gunnison.
Before start checklist. Parking Brake.
Parking brake is set.
Released. Tage auf Spitz Entrast. V1-1-4-0 VR-1-5-0 V1-1-4-0
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Understood. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
Closed. Beacon. On. Before start checklist completed.
Good Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 42.
All ground equipment is clear. You can start the engines at your
Our
discretion.
flight time will be roughly 28
Starting engine
minutes.
2. Okay.
Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
Starting engine 1. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screens for an important
The
safety
push is complete.
demonstration.
Please set the
Thank
brakes.
you for flying with us.
Parking brake set.
Understood. Okay, the turbo is disconnected and the pin is out and equipment is clear.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks, have a good flight and we'll see you
follow
later.
along as we demonstrate the safety features of this Airbus A320 airplane. We appreciate your complete attention to this important safety information.
If you're seated in an exit row, you may be required to assist the crew in an emergency. If you're unable to perform the functions described on the safety card, please advise the flight attendant for reseating at the end of this video.
Fasten your seatbelt lower tight across your lap. Insert the metal fitting into the buckle.
After start
Tighten the
checklist.
belt by pulling on the
Anti-ice.
loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the
Status.
buckle flap. When the seatbelt sign is
Checked.
illuminated,
Pitch 10.
immediately be seated and buckle up. To ensure your safety,
26%
your
set.
seatbelt should be
Good attempt.
fastened at all times when you are seated.
There are 4
Neutral.
exit doors,
After start
2
checklist
on each side of
completed.
the airplane, and 4 window exits located over the wings. Each is equipped with an evacuation slide that automatically inflates.
Predictive
Each
wind
exit
shear
is marked
system
with a
can
sign
be turned
overhead.
on.
The main doors open by moving the large handle in the direction of the arrow.
GCAS system to
Open the upper wing exits by removing the cover
and
and pulling down on the
transponder
marked handle.
active.
Be sure to jump into the slide with your legs in front of you. When you're on the ground, move away from the
Flaps
airplane.
to 2.
In the event of a water landing, main door slides can be detached from the airplane and used for supplemental flotation. Over-wing exits should not be used in a water landing unless directed by a crew member.
Look around to locate the 2 exits nearest your seat. In some cases, your nearest usable exit may be behind you.
In an evacuation, exit path lights will illuminate to guide you to an
APU
exit.
off.
A life vest
Runway
equipped with
turn-off
a
lights
water-activated
on,
light
taxi
is
lights
located
on.
under or near your seat. It can be identified by a red tab. Do not remove it unless directed by a flight attendant. If needed, pull the red tab to remove the vest. Tear open the pouch, remove and unfold the vest. To secure the vest, slip it over your head.
Parking brake
Pull
off.
the straps from the back and attach the hooks to the ring in front. Pull the waist straps away from
Clear
you
left
until
side.
they are tight
Clear
around
right
your
side.
waist. In an emergency, exit the airplane and only then inflate
Brake
the vest
check.
by pulling down sharply
Press over
on
0.
one of the red tabs. If additional flotation is needed, pull the second red tab. You can also inflate the vest by blowing into the tubes.
If needed, oxygen mask will drop from above your seat. To start the flow of oxygen, firmly pull a mask towards you to extend the plastic
Flight control
tubing.
check.
Place the
Ready.
mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band over your head and tighten the straps as necessary. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen will flow to the mask. Secure your mask before helping others and continue using until directed by a crew member.
United Airlines is a non-smoking airline. U.S. law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying lavatory smoke detectors. U.S. law also requires customers to comply with all lighted signs, placards, and crew member instructions.
Please ensure your carry-on items and tray tables are stowed, your seat back is in its full upright position, headrest stowed, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. Be sure that laptop computers, cell phones, and all personal electronics are turned off and properly stowed. If an emergency evacuation becomes
Taxi
necessary,
checklist. Flight
leave all
controls.
carry-on items behind.
Checked.
If
Check
you
it.
have any
Flight
questions
setting.
regarding safety, please
Set.
ask a flight
Set.
attendant.
Radar and
On behalf
predictive
of your
wind
flight
system.
crew, thank you for your
On and
attention
auto.
to safety.
Engine mode selector.
It's our pleasure to have
Beacon
you
Nemo.
aboard, and we hope you enjoy your flight on United.
Gunnison traffic, Frontier 4 taxi runway 24, Gunnison.
cabin is ready.
We've done the taxi checklist. Let's do the before takeoff checklist.
Request takeoff clearance. Tower 4-3. VD for departure.
Oh, didn't mean that one. We don't have a tower. There is no tower.
Cleared for departure. 4-3. Takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist completed. Takeoff. Check.
That W is on that hill in real life. I forget what that W stands for. Western Colorado, or I forget what it stands for, but that's the local college.
Number 104 Papa Kilo radar contact position checked. Volley altimeter is 29906. Maintain VFR. Stay altitude.
Papa Kilo is going through 4.1 for 4.5.
Denver Center, Frontier 4 tree, ready for IFR release. Runway 24.
Frontier 43 say again request with departure runway. Sorry, I cannot find the requested destination with code Mike 24. Say request again please.
Denver Center, Frontier 4 tree, request IFR release to Denver, runway 24.
Frontier 43, this is Center, go ahead.
Denver Center, Frontier 4 tree, ready for IFR release, runway 24.
Frontier 43, you are released for departure. Runway 24 after takeoff, turn right to heading 062, then proceed direct Kilo Tango Oscar Oscar Oscar, climb and maintain 2,000 feet. Release for departure void at 13:34 Zulu, advise with alternate intentions no later than 13:39 Zulu, time now is 13:27 Zulu.
Frontier 43 released for departure runway 24 after takeoff, turn right to heading 062, then direct Kilo Tango Oscar Oscar Oscar, climb and maintain 2,000 feet. Release for departure void at 13:34 Zulu. Frontier 43.
Frontier 43, climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Frontier 43.
Frontier 43, read back correct. Contact us when airborne.
Willkommen Frontier 43.
Check it.
No flex on the takeoff today.
Stop.
Approaching 2-4. On runway 24.
IT Knots. Roger. Tower 4. 3. Stopping.
Airspeed alive. B1. Rotate.
Gear up.
Autopilot on. Managed heading. Managed altitude. Flaps up.
Flaps 1.
Thrust climb. Coming up on green dot speed.
Frontier 43 climb and maintain flight level 200.
Pull up. Climb and maintain flight level 200 Frontier 43. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Well, we know the ground proximity system works.
Frontier 43 contact Denver Center on 125.35. Have a good morning.
Center on 125.35 Frontier 43.
Papa Kilo.
Center Frontier 43 climbing to flight level 200.
Frontier 43, good morning. Radar contact.
We got a German controller too. A German pushback operator, a German first officer, and a German controller. Wow. Okay, there's 10,000 feet. We can come out of continuous ignition. Landing lights can come off. Runway turn-off lights can come off. Taxi lights can come off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now passing through 10,000 feet. You can now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. As a reminder, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatories. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be
Frontier
able to access a
climb
wide
and
range
maintain
of
flight
free
level
live
230.
TV and paid movies library.
Climb and maintain flight level 230 Frontier 43.
Exec Jet 632, clear direct Charlevoix Airport whenever you're able.
Okay, direct Charlevoix when able, Exec Jet 632, thanks.
Managed heading, managed altitude, and managed speed. And transition altitude. So let's go to standard pressure. Thousand feet to go. Seatbelt sign can come off. Double ding the cabin. Let the folks back there know they can start their service.
From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We'll be reaching our cruising altitude soon. Everything's looking good up here in the cockpit. Please let your cabin crew know if there's anything that we can do to make this flight a little better for you. Hey, what are the odds you guys could bring us a snack?
Frontier Force expect the skis arrival with the ski transition for the ILS approach to runway 34 left with the tail recht transition at Denver International. After October cleared direct ski.
Expect the skis re-arrival with the ski transition for the ILS approach to runway 34 left with the tail recht transition after October cleared direct ski Frontier Force 3.
Frontier Force contact Denver Center on 134.5 Lava Good 1.
Center on 134.5 Frontier Force 3.
German controller, German first officer, German tug driver.
Center Frontier Force 3 at fliegt level 230.
Frontier 43, good morning. Radar contact.
I'm going to start learning German just by the crew I have.
Hey, can we get something to drink up here?
Okay.
You have control. You have control.
Okay, the first officer has
OS
control while I set up the
deviation
landing.
left approved, clear direct Pinto when you're able and advised. Who else called?
Okay, I have never used the toolbar Navigraph before. It's my first time. Oh, I don't know about all this. This sounds like more effort than I want to go through. Well, I'll give it a try. But the first officer's flying, right? So if we crash, it's not my fault. Okay. Okay. Here's our flight plan. I can't seem to get us, but that's okay. Let's what we want to do is look at the arrival. And I'm sure the constraints are fine. I'm not going to worry about the constraints too much. So let's look at the approach. ILS to 34 left. .353 on the course, 111.9 on the frequency. I don't see the glide slope. 3-degree glide slope, standard glide slope. 353 on the course, 111.9 on the frequency.
Frontier 43 contact Denver Center on 119.85. Good day.
Center on 119.85 Frontier 43.
As this is a shorter flight, we will not be able to offer in-flight service. Please let us know
Center
if there's
Frontier
anything we can do to
43
make your flight more
abfliegt level
enjoyable and we will assist
230.
you.
Frontier 43, good morning. Radar contact.
Exec Jet 632, descend to maintain 3,200.
3,200, Exec Jet 632.
Okay, Hygiene, manual hygiene. Here's where we have a problem. Hygiene, manual hygiene. LUFSE. LUFSE. LUFSE is the next waypoint.
Endeavour 4875, we're direct Pinto now.
Endeavour 4875, thank you.
Frontier 43 descent across STE at flight level 210, then descend via the STE3 arrival, with the STE transition to cross Teller at 1000 feet. Altimeter is 3018 at Denver International.
Descend via the ski 3 arrival with the ski transition to cross tel recht at 1000 feet. Altimeter is 3018 Frontier 43.
So we've been brought down to 11,000 feet. And I'm going to let the aircraft handle that. Constraints are between 20 and 22,000 feet at ski. Let's just go ahead and put ourselves in a descent. Get the seatbelt sign back on.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, this is your captain speaking. We've begun our descent, and we should be on the ground soon.
We have begun our final descent into Denver. Flight attendants will be passing
Jet speed 255, change to my frequency 134.6.
final time. Please ensure tree
Jet speed 255, moderate, heavy, and extreme precipitation.
Frontier 43, contact Denver
all
Center
Wi-Fi
on
related tasks and show any
128.37
larger
per day.
electronics.
Center on 128.37 Frontier 43.
Station at
Center Frontier 43 descending to 1000 feet.
Frontier 43, good morning. Radar contact. Altimeter is 3022.
Altimeter is 3022 Frontier 43.
I have control. You have control.
Frontier 43, contact Denver, approach on 126.55. Have a good morning.
Approach on 126.55 Frontier 43. Approach Frontier 43 descending to 1000 feet.
Frontier 43, good morning. Radar contact. Continue descent via the Sky I-3 arrival, for the ILS approach to runway 34 left with the tail retransition at Denver International.
Continue descent via the Sky 3 arrival, for the ILS approach to runway 34 left with the tail recht transition Frontier 43.
Altimeter setting.
We're getting a RAS warning for altimeter setting. I haven't had an updated altimeter setting in a little while. In a more accurate
altimeter setting.
I would put in a more accurate altimeter setting if I knew what one was. "3022" was the last one I got. Arm the landing system.
Frontier 43 altimeter is 3018 at Denver International, cleared for the ILS approach to runway 34 left at Denver International with the tail retransition.
Altimeter is 3018 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 34 left with the tail recht transition Frontier 43.
Frontier 43 descend via the tail retransition to 9,000 feet.
Descend to 9,000 feet via the tail recht transition. Frontier 43.
Approach checklist. Baroref. 3, 0, 1, 8, set, 3, 0, 1, 8, set, Seat bets. On. Are you sure about that? Minimum.
Altimeter setting.
5,200. Set. Autobrake. Disarmed. Engine mode selector. APOAR checklist completed.
Altimeter setting.
Southwest 2157, passing 14.3, descending on the Hydro 137 right.
Southwest 2157, approach, expect the visual approach runway 7 right, maintain 270 knots till advised.
270 knots until advised, Southwest 2157.
Frontier 43 altimeter is 3018 at Denver International Contact Tower on 128.75. Have a good morning.
Altimeter is 3018 Tower on 128.75 Frontier 43. Tower Frontier 43 inbound for ILS approach runway 34 left.
Frontier 43 good morning. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 34 left call when established on final.
Continue ILS to runway 34 left will call when established on final Frontier 43.
Well, unfortunately, I set us up, I don't know how I did it, but I set us up for an RNAV approach. And Autoland is not available with an RNAV, only with an ILS. So I don't know how close to the ground RNAV will let us get. It'll be interesting. Might have to actually manual fly this plane for a little bit. Let's go to the first notch of flaps, why don't we?
Flaps 1.
American 144, 2 right turns, ground point 75.
2 right turns, 0.75. Have a good morning, American 144.
Flaps 2.
Flaps 2. Are you sure about that? Gear down.
Frontier 43 contact tower on 128.75.
Contact tower on 128.75 Frontier 43. Tower Frontier 43 inbound for ILS approach runway 34 left.
Frontier 43 radar contact.
Flaps 3. Are you sure about that? Flaps full. Are you sure about that? Landing checklist. Ikem Mimo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist completed.
Okay, disconnect the autopilot.
$2,500.
Radar altimeter alive.
Altimeter setting.
Sync rate.
Approaching. 3, 4, left.
Frontier 43 winds are 234 at 7 knots, clear to land runway 34 left.
Clear to land runway 34 left, Frontier 43.
Altimeter setting.
$500. $400. $300. $200.
Continue.
Sync rate. 50. 40.
Point 797 Heavy at the shoreline, channel left heading 210 on a 25 right, Crested.
At the shoreline heading.
Long landing.
40.
Long
30,
landing.
Right,
20. Retard.
0797 head.
No spoilers. No reverse engine on and
Frontier
engine
43 exit
descent.
runway when able.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denver. The local time is 7:51 a.m. and it's currently about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening
After
the
landing
overhead bins,
checklist.
as items may
Radar
have
and
been shifted
predictive
during the
winds
flight.
versus team.
If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying
Off.
with us.
After landing
If you're making
checklist
a
completed.
connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
Approaching. 3, 4, right.
Frontier 43 is clear of the active. Frontier 43.
Frontier 43 contact ground on 119.47. Have a good stay.
Ground on 119.47 Frontier 43.
Denver ground. Frontier 43 requests taxi to the gates.
Frontier 43 taxi to gate Charlie 31 via taxiways Whiskey Charlie, Foxtrot, Zulu November, Golf, Charlie November, hold short runway 34 right.
Taxi to gate Charlie 31 via taxiways Whiskey Charlie, Foxtrot, Zulu November,
Approaching.
Golf,
3,
Charlie
4,
November,
right.
hold short runway 34 right Frontier 43.
Frontier 43 cleared to cross runway 34 right.
Cleared to cross runway 34 right Frontier 43.
C31 is our gate. Looks like our first officer took care of our lights.
Going up to the gate that he just pulled out of.
Hey, firm.
Alright, thanks guys. UPS 1302 of you can make the left turn on Alpha when you're able. Hold short over my 26 right at the approach end.
Alright, left on Alpha, hold short 26 right at the approach end on Alpha. 1302 heavy.
C is the furthest concourse from the terminal, but I don't know where 31 is. Got some numbers out here. C17 looks like. C25. C27. Okay, so C31 ought to be the next one. C29. C29. Could this be 31? It looks like 32. Well, it's going to be close enough. C29, I was assigned C31. I must say, in my flying, this is about as... It's about as close to the assigned gate as I think I've ever gotten. So I'm not going to argue. There's C31. There is a Southwest Airlines plane parked in my C31 gate, so I'm... C29 is the best I can do. Parking brake on.
Shut down engine 2. Taxi light off. Parking checklist. Parking brake workshops. Set. Angines. Off. Wings light. Off. Full pumps. Off. Parking checklist completed.
hear the jet bridge. And I can hear the pitter-patter of little feet as they start to deboard the plane. Engines are off. APU is on. Parking the aircraft checklist has been completed. So I think all that's left for me now is to wait for the passengers to debark. Saw no aircraft on the entire flight, and now here that I'm parked, the TCAS system is showing active targets. Speaking of TCAS system, that shouldn't be on. Transponder to stand by, TCAS system to stand by. Progressive wind shear system
2830 and ramp 4, follow that 717 into 4.
Hey, ramp 4, follow the 717 into 4, Delta 2830.
Cabin crew disarm slides and cross-check.
Well, folks, thanks for joining me on another one. See you again soon.